What's up guys, Ghost here and welcome back to another episode of Low Leaguer Tips, the series where you guys submit your replays into me, I cast the games and try and give you a few tips on your gameplay. This one here comes in from our Terran player for the day. His name is Bluesnow and he's going to be playing it down in the bottom right corner. And up in the top left we have ModZen. So he's going to be playing Protoss, so a little bit of changing things up now. We've had two TVTs the past two episodes, so it's going to be nice to get a little bit of a break from those. So he sent me this replay, and he says he thought he played pretty decently this game. He's a gold level player apparently, and he wanted to submit this one into me. So I'm going to go ahead and cast it and see how he does. I do hear him say that he's going to have to scout, so I guess our Protoss player here, ModZen, I guess he went random, and Bluesnow actually has no idea what he's doing, he has no idea which race he's actually against at the moment, so he's going to be scouting out very early right here. Other than that, just hanging about here, waiting to get down his barracks. I hope he doesn't forget himself, as they are having a bit of a chit-chat here. And as ModZen says here, well, anyway, you need to scout in like every matchup. That's very true. But yes, correct, Mr. Bluesnow. You do have to scout a bit earlier if you want to be safe, and you want to know actually what build you're going to go for. And we're going to see what build Bluesnow goes for, opening pretty normally here. Putting down his refinery there, actually a bit early. I think he put it down at 12 workers, which is a little bit on the early side. He may have cut a worker there, so I'm not so sure if that was a good idea or not. Maybe just a mistake on his part. And here we've got a bit of a ring the roses from the probe in the SCV. He's going to be getting inside the base there, having a good mosey around. And he sees double gas going up here, so not sure what that's going to mean. It could be some kind of a sky toss play. We're going to see here what ModZen does. He's probably, maybe he's going to 4K, I mean, who knows. Blocking in here, back home, getting his orbital up nice and ready, so still things going standard. He has fallen a little bit behind in workers, and I think it's normal for Terran to be a tad bit behind Protoss, as they do have that chrono boost, which ModZen has actually opted not to use, it would appear, unless he's just saving it for possibly boosting his warp gate research on the cybernetics core in preparation for a 4-gate. So these two are still going at it, running around the map. Bluesnow is just leading him around everywhere, and ModZen is not giving it up. Supply looking okay here. He actually hasn't gotten out. Yeah, he does have... Wait a minute, does he have any marine out? Okay, he's got one marine out here on the map. And he's getting second down, and he's gone for a factory. So hopefully we'll be seeing a second gas from him soon. See whether he's going to go for factory play, or whether he's going for a fast starport or what. I'm not actually sure what he's going to do. But normally if you will be getting a fast factory here and you were going to go mech versus a Protoss opponent, you'll probably want to get this Vespene geyser up, a refinery on there as soon as possible. And his minerals here are actually skyrocketing, so I'm wondering if he's going to throw down an expansion or what he's actually doing. I mean, as I said, these two players are only gold players, so don't be expecting perfection from them. Bluesnow, he hasn't been using his chrono boost here to get out the warp gate research, and I don't see any kind of a forward pylon by him. In fact, he hasn't even scouted his opponent, so definitely not a 4-gate going to happen. But he is moving out with 3 stalkers here, and something maybe up for Bluesnow. Let's see what he has back home. He's only got 4 marines, getting a bunker down now. Looks like he's going to try and secure that expansion there. Yep, sure enough, command center. And he has to be careful here, he's about to get supply blocked. He does have a supply depot going down there. It's a good idea once you get to this stage in the game, as long as your macro is in order, you're still building workers, you're building units constantly, which Bluesnow is actually not. He's not building anything at the moment out of his factory or his barracks. But if you are, you can pretty much be safe with one SCV constantly building a supply depot. So you can just make him build a supply depot. When he's done, make him build another one, and that will keep you ticking over until you get sort of into the mid game, and then you may want to have sort of mid late game. Then you probably want to have at least 2 SCVs building 2 supply depots at a time there. So a reactor on the factory going down for him. We could be seeing some Hellbats out of him. 5 Stalkers now outside the base, and they're going to charge in right into a bunker and a Widow Mine there. And Bluesnow needs to pull some SCVs because this is going to go down. One SCV coming there to repair. No, what are you doing? Repair! Oh, Jesus. Okay, so that might have been a little bit of an overreaction there. Sure enough, he repairs the bunker. And, yep, he's going to fend off that attack. But, that is a lot of SCVs. 12 SCVs under Mule, so a slight overreaction from Bluesnow there. And, you know, some new players do end up doing that. I mean, they just kind of lose their cool a little bit, grab a handful of workers here, go and repair, but really 2 or 3 SCVs would have been ample there. I mean, he brought 1 in, and if he'd have started repairing with that, that may have even been enough. Unfortunately, it went forward towards the Stalkers. ModZen is starting to pull ahead in worker count here. He's up to 31, and he's got his expansion up and running, so both players expanding here around the same mark, although Bluesnow slightly behind in supply. He has opted to go for 3 factories here, so he's going to be going heavy mech, 2 reactors, so I think we can expect to see Hellbats. Yep, there's the armory, so we can definitely expect to see Hellbats out of him, no doubt. Getting some tanks there from his tech lab factory. So this is going to turn out to be an interesting game. This is actually Genesis, one of the guys on the Starcraft 2 forums. He was pointing me to a thread which was actually about this kind of play, Hellbat, or specifically mech versus Protoss. And I'll actually link that thread to you guys down below if you're interested in learning how to go mech, because if you were a Terran player back in Wings of Liberty, it was just horrible when you got to the sort of mid-late game and you hadn't managed to really gain an upper hand on your Protoss opponent, you know, and you were just against this huge ball of Stalkers, Zealots, and Colossus, even with Templars with Storm thrown in there, and it just felt like it was just unconquerable. So now, with Hellbats, Terran have that option to mineral dump into Hellbats there, and they're a pretty robust unit, so they can certainly take some punishment. So mech is suddenly become much more viable, I feel, in Terran versus Protoss. And it looks like Bluesnow actually got supply blocked here for quite a while, and he's thrown down quite a few supply depots there. How are we doing in workers? Okay, so ModZen still slightly ahead there, and Bluesnow is definitely starting to secure this. I would actually like to see him think about getting a 3rd sometime soon. He's at, well, we're coming up to the 11-minute mark. Around that time is often when you can see players starting to think about getting a 3rd, or have even secured a 3rd. He scans here, so he's seen that Templar, he knows what's going down there. And sure enough, we have a Templar Archives up here with Storm. No Colossi as of yet. So yeah, one thing he does need to be wary about though is if ModZen decides to go Skytoss, because he only has Hellions and tanks at the moment. He doesn't have anything to take out air. He's just getting his starport now, so he could build a few Vikings. But I mean, even Thors against Skytoss, you know, Void Rays and Tempests, if he decides to go for a fleet beacon, they're very, I mean, they're not lightly armoured units, so those Thor's missiles aren't going to do as much damage to them as they would to, say, Mutalisks or some other sort of flying type. Alrighty, so Bluesnow is moving out across the map here. He's going to go and see what he can do. I would really love to see him throw down one of those expansions right now, either here or here, and use this opportunity while he has his opponent sidetracked. And actually, ModZen moving out at the exact same time. I'm not sure if he scouted that. Oh dear, he's on movement. He didn't have attack move, so he's definitely going to be at a disadvantage there. Storm goes down on the Hellbats, but you can just see how robust they are. If he'd have had Bio now, all of those Marines would have probably died. All these Hellbots still on pretty good health, and of course the advantage that you can actually repair these units with SCVs, so you don't need any dropships to repair them specifically. Moving in here, going to be taking out those 2 Archons as they warp in, and he's starting to punish the second here of ModZen. In fact, I think there's not going to be a whole lot more to this game. At least if ModZen does survive this attack, he's going to fall severely behind. And I'm not sure why he hasn't really been reacting to this, because he's had these two observers. I think he's seen what's going on. He knew that Bluesnow was gonna go for mech, so it would have been clever for him to get up a couple of Stargates and actually start pumping out some Void Rays or something like that. Warp's in a few Stalkers here. He's going to try and take out those, but Jesus, they are just so tough. One upgrade here, 2-1 for the Stalkers even, and despite that, they are still getting demolished by those Hellbats. Oh dear, dear, dear. ModZen definitely looks to be going down here. He's lost his natural, or he almost has. I can't really see him coming back from this one, although he is managing to take out a few of those Hellbats here. He's decided to go and block the ramp there with a couple as ModZen warps in another round of Protoss units, so he may be able to actually force this force back here. Got a couple of Vikings out now, probably to take out those two pesky observers there, who are obviously seeing everything you do. If you see the observer flying around as a Terran player, you definitely want to scan and take it out with your Marines or your Vikings, or just whatever you can, really. And oh dear, taking down that running unit. An Immortal out here, and I think with that Immortal, yep, he's definitely going to be able to repel that attack, but he's been severely damaged there. ModZen is going to have to do some serious work if he wants to get back into this game. Bluesnow here, retreating all the way back across the map, and unfortunately he hasn't secured his third yet. So, despite taking out his enemy's second, he may be running low on minerals soon. How are we doing on workers? Okay, so Bluesnow is definitely caught up in workers. He has a very healthy amount here, and there we go. He's made a new orbital in his main, and he's going to be drifting that out to the third position over here. So looking pretty healthy there at 70 workers. I feel, you know, 75, 80 workers, it's a good amount there to have on 3 base. And he's getting up some upgrades. One thing I would have liked to see him do, especially since he has so much gas and so many minerals, is to get another armory down, and he could be getting double upgrades there. And he's finally getting a couple more factories, but he's been running here on 3 factories for the entire game. He hasn't been making anything out of the barracks, and he's only made, as far as I can see, 2 Vikings out of that reactored starport, so maybe a little bit of a waste of money there to put that reactor on there. And even to get the starport at the end of the day, he could have made a handful of Marines if he wanted to take out the observers. But he has, the main problem has been that he's had these 2 reactored tech labbed, what the hell am I talking about? He's had 2 reactored factories here, so he's been able to pump out 4 Hellbats at a time, but only 1 factory with a tech lab, so pumping out those tanks has been a little bit difficult. And what's this? ModZen's moving into the third here. Oh, cancel! Oh dear, he didn't cancel. Oh, okay, he managed to cancel one of them, so he got 300 minerals back there, but he lost a whopping 500. But that doesn't matter, because he's got 2,400 sitting in the bank here. He has, he's actually gotten up to full supply here, so I feel he's gotten a little bit scared by being supply blocked earlier in the game, and he's gone absolutely insane and built supply depots for as much money as he has. So he doesn't have to worry about supply troubles, but don't let that happen to you. You know, try and learn to make supply depots at a constant rate so you don't get supply blocked, but you don't have far too high of a supply cap when your army size is only at around 100. So ModZen has secured a third of his own here, and he's got his natural back up, but Bluesnow here moving in for the attack, and this is looking to be the end. I can't see ModZen coming back for this. Look at this size. Yep, GG from ModZen, and he leaves the game. Alright, so what will I say about that game? As you guys saw, Mech against Protoss, a much more viable strategy now. He ended up here with 2-1 in the end, and his Protoss opponent also had 2-1. But I would have liked to see Bluesnow here get 2 armories down. I mean, normally on 2 base, you know, going 2 armories may be a little bit ambitious. You may want to wait until you're securing your third to do that, but I feel he had so much gas and so many minerals that he could have easily afforded that second armory, and he may have even been at 3-2 upgrades had he done so. His worker production was pretty nice. You see there, ending the game with 76 workers on 3 base. So hats off to him there. Maybe a few too many workers still at the main with so few minerals left there. He has a lot of workers there at the second and too few at the third. So you really need to keep an eye on the number here on the command center how many workers you have mining on your minerals, and try and, you know, distribute your workers as evenly as you can. He definitely could have ramped up his production a lot. As you can see, despite the fact he took his third very late, he has 3,200 minerals here in the bank. So it's probably in part due to being supply blocked, and probably in part due to just simply not having enough production facilities. He could have gotten way more factories, and he should have really just been constantly producing out of them. I don't feel like he was. One more point I would like to make is that although his opponent didn't opt to get air units, had he gone for a couple of Stargates, and I don't think he has any Stargates anywhere, so he wasn't thinking about that, but had he done so, in secret, Bluesnow could have been kind of screwed, because Void Rays and Tempests there are no better units to deal with this kind of a composition. I mean, all these are ground targets. Tanks are ground units. They can't shoot air. The only thing, in fact, that Bluesnow has that can shoot air is these two Vikings, and that would have definitely been his weakness. Unfortunately for ModZen, he didn't pick up on that, so he lost the game, and I actually feel like he was the worst player here. So well done to Bluesnow there. If any of you guys are playing Terran and you have trouble with Terran versus Protoss, then definitely try out, going for mech. If you've been going for bio just as you did in Wings of Liberty, maybe try changing it up and going for mech. As I said before, I will link that thread down below that I believe Genesis threw up. It's a very good detailed thread on how to mech against Protoss. It's very detailed for newer players, so definitely go check that out. If you would like to submit a replay for the next episode of Low League Tips, you can either send me a PM here on YouTube, or you can go and post it in my thread that I have over at the Terran forums on the Starcraft 2 forum, and just upload it to drop.sc. I will go and download it and give me a brief description of the game, so I know what the matchup is, what league you're in, and really what kind of tips you're hoping to take away from this game. Do you think you played well? Do you think you could use improvement, etc.? The other way you can do it is you can simply send the game as an attachment in an email to ghostmbb@gmail.com. Alright guys, so that's about going to do it for me. I hope you enjoyed watching. Please hit that like button down below if you did, and I will see you next time. Cheers.